Happy Friday. You know, I really do like pistachios. They're one of my favorite foods. They take a little bit of time, require a little bit of patience, but so unique.
And remember the small comment Jimmy made about the potential of him and AD?
Oh, he's interested in AD. Let's not forget that Chelsea revealed her problems in a podcast, something that she should have done in the reunion. Hey guys, welcome back to Human Resource.
So Love is Blind Season 6 post the reunion drama is still going on. Can you believe it, guys? At the beginning it was like, okay, tit for tat, small little whispers here and there, and we're like, let it simmer.
Yeah, let it simmer.
Let them kind of talk it out gracefully. But boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it seems like they didn't really get anything out of their chest during the reunion time. Only Laura.
Yeah.
They didn't pull Laura. That's what it is.
It's like they wanted to keep, you know, their class and the professionalism on. It's like, you know, we have sponsors looking.
Yeah, or we're buddies, you know what I mean? We're friends.
And then why you guys are hot on the mic, hot on the text messages, all post-reunion.
It's been a year.
Especially Matthew with his final comments that he made.
But we're going to talk about that later.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about Clay and AD. So Clay recently went on the Way Up with Angela Yee.
Podcast.
So if people don't know who's Angela Yee, she was on the Breakfast Club, right? She was with those guys. And after she left and she's doing her own thing.
How did that happen?
With her own hours and living her best life. Good for her. Okay. So Clay revealed that, you know, AD's finance was a little bit sketchy.
Remember, guys, during the last episode before the reunion, it was the last episode before the reunion, right? He made a little comment about, like, by the way, I don't know anything about AD's finances. What do you mean? I'm sure she might have shared something about that. Like, I don't understand. Like, are you trying to know, like, her passwords? This is what he had to say.
Personally, I wasn't never saying that AD's finances was a reason why we wouldn't be together. I was saying that I didn't understand it enough for us to get married at this time period. Like, I just want to remind everybody, this is 6 weeks, and I'm going to take ownership that I probably should have a little bit more conversations about the finances, but I just want to remind everyone that there's so much going on at that time. So we talked about the finances in the pods. What I saw from AD in the pods was a little bit different than what I saw when we were filming, when we were actually in Charlotte together. She, you know, we vibed off of entrepreneur spirit. We vibed off of working hard. And then when I felt like when we came back to the house, she dedicated all her time to be a wife, and that's cool and everything. But that's not really what I like fell in love with her about. You know, like her biggest thing was like, Clay, I got your back. And to me, that's just not a motivation for me to get married. Because I thought that she said she was a real estate agent. I didn't really see her, you know, in that field because she was, you know, dedicated to the process, and that's good for her. A lot of other people were dedicated to the process as well. But for me, I felt as though for me to say I do, I needed to see how are you making your money. Because it seemed to me the ex-boyfriend, this is just to me, this may not be true.
Interesting.
But to me, it seemed like all the finances came from that ex-boyfriend.
Sounds like you're saying like maybe she wanted to be a stay-at-home wife.
He's hell bent on wanting to know that how can she contribute to his finances, right? Or
yeah,
to
because
help
he wanted to see
alleviate.
her work. He wanted to see her work. I don't know. Is he actually very transparent of where he is at financially? Is he struggling? When you have your own thing going for you, you're not going to really look at your woman and say, oh, did you get those coins? Did you get that pennies? Did you get all of that? You know what I mean? I want to see you work.
But I want to bring up this thing, okay? Remember there is a couple on Love is Blind. I don't remember her name. You guys can fill in the blanks for me. But she was basically, him and her are marrying each other, but then she said, by the way, I have a plus of $40,000 debt.
Oh, yes.
And then he was like,
I think her name was Amanda.
Right, or Amber.
I think it's Amanda.
And then after, he was like, okay, all right. Literally, they went over that hill. It looks like that was a small little fracture on their whole bigger painting. And he still went ahead and married her because the reality is when you love somebody, there is some challenges,
of course,
but you don't go ahead and just ruin the whole painting just with a small fracture. You know what I mean?
And plus those couple that you were talking about, Amanda, I'm assuming her name is Amanda. She and him, her man, are debt-free.
See?
Yeah, they work together. They're debt-free. They're living. They have a house right now.
Right.
I think they were season 1.
What does AD says about this?
Well, let's check it out.
When I got scouted, I was like, okay, I want this. So I prepared for this.
Right.
Like an adult would.
100%.
And then I also am a realtor. And if you know anything about real estate, you make your own hours, you make your own schedule, you do your own thing.
Right.
And I worked in a
Boss
nightclub.
lady.
whom was owned by my ex. Okay. He knew all of this.
Yeah.
And so my finances have never been funny. To make that very clear. Never funny, honey. When we came back, I was like, hey, look, I'm good. I set myself up. I can take, and I wasn't the only one. A few of us on the cast took work off. And I understand that he wanted to see like what it was like. But I told him in the pods, like, I'm leaving my club job because I don't want to work for my ex anymore until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Anyway,
While I'm trying to get married.
While I'm trying to get married.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, AD, I really just need to see you go to work. And he didn't understand how I could stay afloat and how it could keep moving.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't working a 9 to 5.
You see that right there? She can keep afloat. Keeps moving in like that.
By
How do you get to that level?
By putting yourself first.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
Now she does say that he was constantly talking about, you know, I need to see you work. I need to see you work, right? And she does make sense. It's like, why you're so concerned?
Yeah.
I just told you I got money.
We don't know how you got it.
Experiment.
Allegedly.
And it doesn't matter. In the end of the day,
Nobody's saying, I'm sorry, I like the conventional lady, all right?
No, that's not conventional lady.
The one who wakes up at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock, I don't know how you guys wake up, and you get that coffee and that bagel and then get into your car, drive. I don't see you till 4 p.m. And that looks like you are making money. The right way? I don't know.
Like, just admit that you don't have the funds at this moment to provide your woman a soft lifestyle.
She said something that I was kind of like, what does that mean? I'm a kept woman. I'm kept.
Yeah, that part was kind
What
of
does that
fishy.
mean? I don't know. Women, stop.
Is she still kept? Or she likes being kept?
What does that even mean? Like, nobody...
Well, I understand that. You know what I mean? I got somebody who's supporting me. I got a person who protects me, who holds me down and all
could be
that. That's a
anybody.
kept woman. And
no.
you know what? Every woman needs that.
No, it doesn't mean that way. Like, I need to understand. I feel like these days, women right now are like blurring the lines in their relationships. Let's get real, okay? And so
you
instead
mean
of saying, I have a boyfriend, or I'm a fiance, or I'm married, they're like, he didn't say anything about me, so I'm a kept woman? I'm still around him?
No, I think she means I'm used to a guy doing all ABC for me and taking care of me, providing for me and all that. I support that.
So it's called a kept woman.
That's a kept woman.
Are you a kept woman?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
It's like, it's okay.
I'm not a kept woman.
I would love a translation.
Yeah, my mom definitely got respect for AD. I don't think she liked the comment that AD made though at the reunion. Where
She didn't want to be your mom.
Yeah, it's like AD, what you talking about, man? Like, my mom was married for 23 years. Like, you wish, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, she said respectfully, but
Why are you so bugged out? I think any woman wouldn't want to go through what your mother went through.
And he said, you wish. You wish what? What do you
wish?
wish?
The same lifestyle as your mom?
I went somewhere else with it.
You know, the reality
Wait,
is,
I went somewhere else
Clay,
with
would
it.
you want that for your sister? Would you want that for yourself?
I went somewhere else with this. I was like, you wish what? Like, you could get married? Is that what you're trying to say? Listen, AD, like she said, she's a kept woman. Her whole persona is very attractive.
Oh, yeah.
She can get anybody she want like this. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's
she's
you,
a-
Clay, that's
she's a
running around still
delight.
talking about it. I feel like she's always responding to his comments. It's never her making a comment about him. You know why? She's too busy getting the bag. Did you see her interviews lately? Jennifer Hudson show. She's going around.
Listen, 23 years of turmoil and issues and all that, that's not a pride. That's not something to gloat about. That's actually something to study and say, why did your mom stay for so long in that marriage? Was it because of you guys, her kids? Having
Financial reasons,
financially
maybe?
having that whole idea of, you know,
A married woman.
yeah.
Clay and his mama went on a show. I think it's Tamron Hall. I really don't know how the interview went, but it looks like, you know, they have a great relationship with each other.
So Clay's groomsman, one of his boys, and made a comment saying that
So Headband Shoddy said, I'm Clay's best friend and we both been living out in Charlotte for years now. 80 finances are in fact funny. She has a sugar daddy that is funding her life. Bought her a car and apartment. She's not a realtor. Ask her to show us one house she sold or a picture she took with someone in front of a house. She's just sold them. I'll wait. Then never to do a press run to lie on a dude that has said nothing but kind, respectful things about her is nasty work. And then a response to Cammie Crawford's comment. November 2023, around her birthday, her sugar daddy confronted Clay and I outside the club, stating he was still involved with her and had been the entire time and told Clay to stop messing with her.
well, I'm not going to trust a guy that we barely know and he never... and we can't even see a face.
I feel like he's jealous right now. Jealous, she got herself a sugar daddy.
But you know
like,
what? I'm
even
going to
if
say
it's
this.
true or not true.
Why is your friend, Clay, why is your friend so boldly saying all of this if you didn't give him the green light? If you actually respect AD and all that.
See, that's another thing too. And I feel so fascinating about friends and somebody that you're seeing. Let's say you and your person got into a fight and you've kind of separated and you think you guys separate amicably. Watch what their friend says about you. You will know exactly what they're saying about you. If they're spewing crazy language and tones and they're hot about it, that's exactly what they're feeding them. And that's what's letting me know all this little idea of like Clay being a respectful guy on these podcasts is in nice, proper tone, all that stuff. That's cap, okay? Because you can know exactly how he sounds like through his friends. And his friends sound crazy.
Yeah. And you know the funniest thing, this guy is asking for receipts on her side. And where's your receipt on your side?
Please.
Exactly. Where's the sugar daddy? We haven't seen him.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't believe it. Until I see the sugar daddy himself revealing all of this, I don't even care. Because in the end of the day, the reality is she's not with Clay anymore.
Period.
Okay? She's not with him. She's living her best life. She's getting her own bag. And if there's a sugar daddy providing it for her or whatever, that's her business.
Yeah, and I'm sure she would have cut it out when she was getting serious with Clay.
She said that.
But at the end of the day,
her
it is what it is.
ex-boyfriend who owns a club.
Yeah.
That could be the sugar daddy. But that she did say that's her boyfriend. Okay, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
And she cut it off with him.
If Clay and AD really fix things amicably, I believe it's on Clay's part. He's a problem over here. They would have gotten so many cool sponsorship like Jimmy and Chelsea are doing. And do you see that teamwork they're doing? Even though I feel like their problem is much bigger than Clay and
More
AD.
in depth.
And they had more airtime. But they managed to kind of iron it out publicly so that they can go get this money.
Oh, smart.
And remember the smaller comment Jimmy made about the potential of him and AD?
Oh, he's interested in AD. Let's not forget that Chelsea revealed her problems in a podcast, something that she should have done in the reunion. She said that one night they were calling a night. They went to their separate homes. He FaceTimed her and said, you know what, have a wonderful night. I'm going to bed. See you later. After a couple of hours or something like that, he butt dialed her. And she hears on the phone that there's a whole commotion, everybody having fun, all his friends. Basically, they're having a party.
And they're planning actually where to go next.
Other than that, she was
Flabbergasted.
dumbfounded,
Yeah.
right? Shocked, pissed. Of course, you would be pissed if anybody
Text him like crazy. What's that about? What's that about? What's that about?
Yeah.
And you know, in the interview, she called him a fool.
Of course, because why do you have to do this whole charade of a...
Jimmy was not going on Love is Blind to get married. He was there to get publicity. Even he went to the Jimmy Fallon show.
Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, what?
Probably he did want to get married, but he didn't want to marry Chelsea, okay? He didn't want to be with her, especially when he saw her and all that. We all know. Now, my issue with Chelsea is, with all this time went by, why do you still eager to be with this man?
Ooh.
Right? You're hanging out with him, you're talking to him. I would have iced it. I would have ghosted him. I would have put the kibosh of whatever he's thinking about me.
And of course, how can we forget? Matthew resurfaced. I feel like AD brought him out in a comment she made about, he made me rice and chicken. And he was like, it's like a little pistachio. Guys, I'm wearing a pistachio called a hijab just because of it today. All right?
Represent.
He made a video, and I feel like everybody was waiting for that video. It's like, okay, like why he didn't show up to the reunion?
When is he going to talk?
And this is what he had us waiting.
Happy Friday. You know, I really do like pistachios. They're one of my favorite foods. They take a little bit of time, require a little bit of patience. It's so unique and so delightful.
Okay.
And I also like chicken and rice. So much variety you can do with that meal. Everybody that supported me over the last month and a half, I want to tell you how much I do appreciate you. It hasn't been easy, but I'm certainly excited about the future.
God bless this man.
And I think it's really important to note that this is just a TV show.
It is.
And these
It
are
is.
real people.
It's true.
And
But
I think a lot of these people are struggling a little bit.
it's true.
Wait a
If
minute.
you can be anything, be kind.
Yes.
Wait, that whole video was a waste of gigabytes.
Yes. He didn't explain anything. He didn't explain his side. He didn't tell us why he manipulated two women. Tell them the same thing.
He didn't tell us if he was going to go and get Amber at the end of the day like he said he would.
Because that was a game. That was a ploy the whole
Yeah,
time.
and by the way, guys, he made a comment about, like, you do know it's just a TV show. Wait a minute. It's real people's lives. People are trying to get married, okay?
Very
For you,
true.
maybe a TV show. For other people, it's like their lives. They're trying to find their forever person. And if I can obviously share, guys, I'm sure you guys already know, he has a girlfriend. During the reunion time, the one he didn't show up, he said, I had a girlfriend. Why would I even show up to? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to know.
Wait a minute.
How she could be with a man like that.
Well, you're going to ask Sarah Ann that question, okay? Because there seems to be a lot of women out there, okay, that they like a little nutty, okay? They like a little lunatic, and they like a little feisty. Or guys can get feisty, too. They like all of that to keep them on their toes.
So they like gray hair, basically.
They like gray hair. Personally, if I was, well, I am a woman. If I saw that in Matthew, I'd say no. But even AD went on a date with him. So
and I'm also questioning AD also. Why would you even entertain him after the whole situation?
Yeah. And then somebody left a comment on his Instagram because he said, ask me some question, guys. And then, like, what are some things that you wish you kind of, this is on the show. He goes, my abundance of riz.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, it takes a special type of woman to be with him. And apparently he found that woman.
And guess who's hanging out with each other?
Who?
Jeremy, Sarah Ann,
Interesting.
and Matthew. They're all hanging out with each other. Scary.
They have this almost the same type of toxicity. You know, I feel like they pair well.
And Laura living her best life in Spain.
In Barcelona.
Yeah.
In Barcelona.
So let's drop our final comments.
So like I said before, this season was like one of the most interesting season I have seen so far. Everybody was unique. Everybody was interesting. And there was a lot of crazy in the group.
My final comments is, dear casting, crank it up a notch more. We like the crazy.
We like the crazy?
Like, yeah. The other day I was on TikTok and I saw some people from casting and I was leaving comments. I'm like, can you cast the people from Canada too so we can spice it up a notch? Because Canadians are like mild.
Canada's going to do their own Love is Blind version.
But I feel like they're going to like check everybody's psychological records, check everybody's high school, diploma. They're going to check everybody's social insurance.
I feel like it's going to be very bland.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to make everybody so, like, robotic.
We'll see.
And I would love to ask you guys this question. There's a lot of different Love is Blind coming up. We always know Brazil, Japan, Germany's coming up. Mexico is on its way. Argentina's on its way.
Brazil.
Habibi is there. I mentioned Brazil. And Canada's on its way. And UK. Guys, what franchise are you going to be interesting to continue with or going to invest in? Personally, we're gonna give a shot Love is Blind Habibi and see what that looks like. And Canada.
Yes,
and
definitely
of course, we're
Canada.
stick with USA. We love USA.
Of course. And you guys, on that note, please subscribe and like this video. And bye now.
Maybe UK too.